Hello.
Hi, Dara. Thank you for joining us today. So my name is Anna-Mari, and today I'm joined by my colleague Dizis.
Hi, I'm Didis. We're from the Baltics team.
So this webinar will be done in English because obviously having Latvian colleagues today, and it's also for me because I am Estonian to get more used to this, and then hopefully the next ones will be in Estonian fully.
Yes, and for those of you who have been following some of our activities, well, we're finally very happy to have an Estonian colleague. So that's a great advantage. So far, I had a chance to work with many of you here. But eventually Anna-Marie is going to be taking on the work with agencies, so we're very excited about that. But today we're here to talk about Gmail sponsored promotions. And this is not only the first webinar that we're doing together, it's actually one of the first webinars we're doing about something that is not even launched. So that's the key message here, that Gmail sponsored promotions is not a full product yet. It's currently in a beta testing. However, we have a chance to offer it to some of the clients that are working through agencies. And recently we have got really lots of interest from many of you guys working for agencies in Estonia. And that's why we thought it might be a good idea to gather everyone together and really discuss. So what is Gmail sponsored promotions, how I can use it, and whether it's useful for any particular of my clients. So hopefully that will be something interesting.
All right, so we can get started over here, and the first topic then will be the overview, obviously. So what we're trying to achieve by this is two main things. First of all would be building awareness. This is mainly, for example, if your advertiser is someone who is maybe launching something new, it's still very much into getting attention, then having basically this platform, for example, would be very good for them. And then the second one, which is more of the basic driving sales, which would be, for example, already for existing clients. So I would say these are the main two things at the moment. How does the ad look like? It's pretty straightforward, as you can see from here as well. So as far as I've worked with advertisers, the common question has been, is it on the right side only? So that is an option, but also it's something that doesn't necessarily have to be there. It's also in the promotions tab. So as you can see from here, it's not too pushy. It's just the right amount. And the next slide actually will be about, for example, if you get this ad already going. As you click on it, it will actually appear already on the screen. It will be large, it will be visible. So you can have basically one ad at a time. So if your advertiser is interested in it, it will be able, it will be something that will be seen. However, it's again, as I mentioned before, it's not something that is too pushy, but it can be seen. So it's both of the two options, I guess.
So, and then when talking about Gmail sponsored promotions, so we can see this ad format really stands out. What's really interesting about it is that it can only appear in Gmail, so it wouldn't run on any other placements on Google Display Network. And with this new ad format, I think there are really great benefits that can bring both to agencies as an interesting and innovative product that you can offer your clients, and also to clients themselves for attracting new customers for their business. So some of the key things here that might be very useful when thinking about Gmail's sponsored promotions and maybe talking with your customers is about why it's actually useful and might be interesting. So first of all, it really offers a very optimum delivery. So many times brands and customers might be a bit concerned about how often my ad might appear on particular placements. So things like frequency capping has been used. So Gmail sponsored promotions does it for you. So it has this optimized delivery of ads where essentially your ad would not show for a single user more than roughly 30 times per month. So that can vary on performance. It can be less. but essentially the ad has a limit that it would not cross over. Also, what's crucial here is that the pricing is very cost efficient. So once your ad starts showing, you only pay once per user for one particular campaign within a 15-day window. So that means if user sees your ad, he clicks on it, maybe he saves it, then you only pay once. Even if he goes back to that email within the 15-day window, you don't pay anything extra. We have seen from our experience so far, so this is still a beta test, so these results can't be fully generalized, but what we see is that the average click-through rate is quite good. So it's roughly around 3.5%, which is quite comparable for what you might expect to see on search. So this format really engages with the audience, and it really attracts the attention. And last is that in terms of performance, because for many clients they might not be necessarily interested in impressions and clicks, which might be more maybe relevant for brand advertisers, but also for advertisers who are really interested in direct response, so making purchases. We have seen that GMAD sponsored promotions perform either the same or better than what you might expect from ads on Google Display Network. So we're very excited about this new format, and it really seemed to be really interesting. So if we go on, what you noticed in those screenshots that Anna Marie showed, that Gmail sponsored promotions definitely look different than any of the other ads, and there's a good reason for that. So this is essentially a totally new ad format. The way it works is that it's kind of like small micro websites that you can put together. It can be a bit technical, but on the other hand, we have good guidance and good templates that can be used in order to make these creatives. So it can be a bit trickier to get the grasp first, but what we have noticed is that agencies quite quickly can adapt to the new format, and after some time, once you have done it once, it gets pretty straightforward. With this creative, you can do lots of things. It can be quite visual. You can add videos. It can even have forms and other elements. So it's pretty interesting. And the last thing I wanted to mention here is, like, okay, so we have this new format, but why does it actually matter? So what's so special about this? So first of all, the whole way how Gmail sponsored promotions appear, so it's not while users are in a browsing mode, so for example on sites that would be part of Google Display Network, but they're in totally different environment, which is their inbox, and this is a kind of a safe zone for many of the brands, and when they choose to attract users, as users might be in totally different mindsets. So for example, one place where Gmail sponsored promotions can appear is in the promotions tab, and if users have enabled this, then going to this tab means that they're already kind of in this kind of commercial setting, so they know that they receive messages that are in relation with promotions, and that's one of the things that's really making it very efficient. So also what's interesting there is that the format itself can be very insightful from perspective of information that you're able to get out of it. So meaning similar as you have maybe got used to working with AdWords, is that you can get lots of reports out of it. So for example, what kind of devices were used to open your ads or view them, what were the click-through rates, impressions, and so on. Also, one crucial thing here is when thinking about this format is that it's not really targeting cookies as with some other targeting methods. It's really about the users. So when creating ads and campaigns for this format, it's really important that you're essentially stepping in the shoes of potential customers, trying to understand, so what might be insights, what might be behaviors, and so on, and you're trying to think in a whole new level that it might be with some of the ad formats that you might have used before. And again, that's one of the things that can make it much more efficient than the others. And finally, the reach. That's also one of the crucial things here, is that many people use Gmail as their email service, and this allows you to reach a really vast volume of users, whether this would be in Estonia or other countries.
All right, and as Dietz already mentioned, I think this is a very good point as well, that the targeting is for clients and is using different aspects. So I think a very good point here would be to really get to know what your advertiser wants, what's their business behind that, and then take it from there. As far as I have worked with these ads, I've really seen that to get new advertisers, it's indeed to have the ad, as to say, quite precise, quite good, and also, for example, when we're talking about getting engaged with older customers, already existing ones, and for example have some kind of a discount, or for example you can see here as well in this slide, to make it, because the ad is obviously, you have a format and you have to have it as that format, but to kind of really think what you want to fit into it. So yeah, exactly as I said before, you have very different options for this, driving different, for example, video subscriptions, calls, app downloads, lead generation, which would be then signing up for newsletters. So there are very many different opportunities for that, and really up to you what you want to do with that.
And I guess the crucial point there is that it actually, like these vast targeting options actually make it so flexible. So we have heard from many of the clients who were interested in this that, okay, so this must only work for brands, or for businesses that want to get visible. But actually, as we see here, it's much more than that. For example, now many businesses are trying to, for example, get into broadcasting themselves by using videos, or using some other dynamic ways of advertising themselves, and this is quite an interesting way. And again, it allows you to stand out, and really to attract the full attention there.
Yeah.
And yeah, talking about targeting options themselves. So again, as also Anna-Marie stressed, so this is really about thinking about the user, not, for example, emails that are being read. So you have several things that you can do here. So for example, one thing is to think about the age and gender. For example, if we would have, let's say, certain products that might be more relevant for one gender than the other, then this is the great targeting option. As you might be used with AdWords, you of course have the location and the language. You can use keywords. What's really interesting here is that you can use domains, which can be very useful if you want to embrace strategies that are, for example, targeted at either acquiring new customers or reaching customers that you have already engaged with. So that can, for example, mean that we could set our campaign to run based on keywords, but excluding those users who have received an email from us. So, for example, that they might be on our mailing list. So that can be opening up whole new lots of opportunities. And the product purchase is also an interesting one. It, for example, allows you to set certain categories for users who have purchased particular products. And again, if I'm, for example, interested in marketing some products that might be, let's say, relevant for parents, I might be choosing as an additional targeting category product purchase category that would be in relation to products that parents might buy. So that can bring some new opportunities. And of course, there's also the device targeting, and you can also use a job targeting.
All right, and this is another option that we have at the moment. Obviously, mobiles are incredibly popular, including all the mobile devices. So you can have a campaign type that is specifically targeting mobile, which would be excellent. And again, it's basically the format is the same. It's not too pushy. It's visible. So I think this is also pretty straightforward if that's an option that your advertiser also wants to go with. I would say that why this is really good, for example, is that, as Dietsis was also mentioning yesterday, was that, for example, usually when people are mobile, right, so they want to very often have installments of something. They would go, for example, with installing an application, right? So this would be an excellent way for you to have it visible. And another one, which is obviously an option we have in AdWords as well, would be click to call, which is the call extension in AdWords. So you have the mobile, you have the phone number. Again, very, very straightforward and easy for the advertiser and for the client as well.
And before we jump forward, I just wanted to add that you can also ask your questions. So we kind of try to give a general overview here, but there must be more questions than that. So feel free to do it. You can do it on a video if you click on the Q&A section. So we'll try to answer those at the end of the webinar.
Another tool that would be excellent for you to see how valuable the mobile would be is full value of mobile calculator, basically, which is something you can use for AdWords as well. You can get that from Google, and yeah, it's excellent. It will exactly show you what's the worth of it, basically.
And this tool is really interesting from perspective that just imagine yourself as a user. So you might be, sitting on a couch watching a TV. You suddenly think about, okay, I might need to buy this latest gadget. So you start looking it up on the phone, and then you kind of sense, okay, well, I'm not going to buy it now. I might have a look at it later. So later on, you might go to your computer and make a purchase there. So even though you didn't do it from a mobile, and it wouldn't be counted as a mobile conversion, it still contributed a lot in order to make this last click conversion from desktop happen. So that's why the whole notion about the full value of mobile is really interesting, and this calculator is definitely a great tool. So it's really about trying to see the bigger picture, and also what we have noticed in tests so far with Gmod sponsor promotions, that it can be very worthwhile kind of fitting in this whole customer journey, even though if it might not in all cases bring last click conversions. But yeah, so there are definitely some interesting things to look at.
And getting started, very easy. Well, what you need to do is you basically need to write to this email. I'll go over your account. I'll get back in contact with you. We'll send you the materials, and we'll set up the platform from our end. And then the campaign setup will be already in your hands. So it's very easy, very straightforward. So write down that email, please.
Yeah. So this is the Estonian support email. So dedicated. -ee@google.com that you can use not only this one but also for other questions. So the thing here is that you definitely need our help to set this up. Crucial thing is that in order to use Gmod sponsor promotions, you need to have monthly invoicing. So I know many of the agencies here have it. If you don't, normally the requirement for that is having at least roughly $5,000 per month spent for all your customers. But in any case, if you don't have an invoicing, you might reach out to us when we can have a look whether requirements are met and what we can do about this. So yeah, after you reach to us, we can create the account for you, set up the billing based on the invoicing, and afterwards we can also help to talk through about the campaign creation. So what would be best practices, what would be strategies, targeting methods, and so on. So what we have noticed so far, and that's the reason why we're also not going into that during this webinar, is that every client is so individual on this that it really requires kind of more sitting together and putting heads together in order to think about, okay, so how we can use all those targeting options in order to try to get the best result for the client in terms of getting his business goals. But yeah, that's essentially it there. So regarding best practices, and I see we also have a question there. We have a colleague of ours who has joined us there. So that's Laura. She's our regional expert on Gmail sponsored promotions, and she has worked a lot with agencies in the Baltic region and also beyond. And she's here to, first of all, talk about some of the best practices that she has encountered while working with customers, and also answer to some of your questions. And we also have a couple of questions to her in mind. So Laura, the first one would be actually from my side. So you have been working with this for quite a while. So what's kind of your experience with when agencies think about which clients could I offer this for? So which ones do they go for? Are there any kind of particular categories that you would aim for, or anything else?
Well, hi everyone, first of all. Yeah, so basically I've worked with several agencies and quite many clients. So what I would suggest and what has happened so far with the agencies that I've worked, it's very important to understand what's the client's goal. So either these are branding advertisers, or these are advertisers who are trying to reach the direct response, so basically get some clients to buy something from their website or actually bring them offline. So it's something that you have to consider first. And depending on their goal, then you can see how you want to propose this GSP campaign to this advertiser, and how you want to build it up. Because well, we haven't gone into so much details during this webinar, but once you're interested, we can send you more information on this. But there are so many options available with the creatives. So when users clicking on the ad, they can open up the email, they can open up the HTML version, they can open up video, so there could be a video embedded. So if that's something for branding, or some specific campaign that has to reach specific number of potential users, then that's something that's very useful. Or either you can get embedded forums there, so actually you can get your advertising, your client base bigger, and also you can offer special offers. So that would be like for direct response. But like, what would I say? It's just to understand completely what your client wants, what's their target, and then you know, propose something to them depending on that.
Okay, so thanks for the answer there, and I guess you touched upon some really strong points. We have a question about targeting from one of the viewers. So it's about domain targeting. So how can you actually do so-called remarketing to people who have received emails from my company's email domain? So how can I target those users who have got emails from me already?
So I would answer like we wouldn't be calling it remarketing, because that's not really possible within Gmail sponsor promotions. But like how you can reach those people who have already received emails from your company. So you would be targeting your own domain. It means that system understands that this user is potentially on your email list, so that your domain is included in their emails. So this is exactly how you can target your own customers.
And what are kind of the strategies that you might use with this? Would you just show ads to everyone who has received an email from my address, or what are kind of the most common ways of businesses using this?
Well, I think that you just have to be creative there, but I can just say example that how some of my agencies have used this. So if they want to reach new users, right? So they want to reach new clients, and they have a already specific user base. So this company would include their domain in exclusions. Mm-hmm. So it means that they would exclude themselves from the emails from reaching the users who already they have reached. So in one way or another, they would have their own domain in their emails. So basically, they're excluding themselves and reaching out to new ones who hasn't had any contact with you. So this is like this is the best strategy for reaching the new users. Other options, you can also target only those who have your domain in their emails. So basically, you know that these users already know you, or maybe have bought something from you or on your email list, and you can offer them something special, or maybe you have like special offer for your existing user base. So it just really depends on what you want to reach. But like there are options to be creative with
I guess the main message there is opportunities are there, and you have to be creative.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We have another question here. So, what kind of statistics are available for getting an initial picture of opportunities, potential reach for a specific campaign? Anything similar to AdWords Keyword Planner?
Yeah. Actually, I think I was planning to discuss this a bit with you. So what is available? So after your Google Account Manager is setting up your account, you can go into the account. You have to figure out what's going to be your targeting, right? So country, language, male, female, age, whatever you wish for. You know, you should think about your keywords list, domains, interests, whatever targeting you want. During a campaign creation process, you can actually enter these all targeting, and you can actually get the monthly audience estimate. So basically, that would be the monthly audience reach, and that you can get there. And so this is basically, and this is within the GSP interface. So this is what you can get within the particular targeting. And usually we get questions as well, what budget we should allocate, and also like I just have to repeat that you have to be well thoughtful, like what is your goal. So but one thing how you can actually try to do that, to kind of calculate what should be your spend or like potential budget that you should allocate for this particular campaign. So once you figure out your targeting, you will get the monthly audience estimate. We have some information by verticals. We wouldn't have specific information about specific countries. Maybe some bigger countries we do, but like usually we have some vertical and regional information about the average CTRs, the ranges of CTRs, and also the costs, the bids. So basically how you would get this spend suggestion. So basically to reach your monthly audience. So you would get, you just calculate your spend by choosing monthly audience estimate times CTR times the bid. So like for all this, the rest of the things except for the reach, you should reach out to your Google team.
Okay, thanks for that. And yeah, still we have a bit of time, so feel free to add your questions next to the video there in the Q&A section. But Laura, you actually touched upon a point about doing estimates for the client, but how do you go about steps before that? So once you're an agency, you have certain clients. How do you go about thinking? Okay, so for which client this could be interesting, and you know what could be potential budgets to even start thinking about using Gmail sponsor promotions?
Well, yeah, as I mentioned, that one idea is actually to see what are the monthly estimates like for the chosen targeting, so you can just see what could be the maximum reach, and then you can go about it like depending on also like what budgets clients have available. All right, but what I would, from my experience, what I would suggest is to not to go lower than a couple of €100 for the campaign. It's just for one reason, thinking about the optimization. So what's in there? So basically, when you're creating a campaign, you're choosing your daily campaign budget, and also the target CPC. So that what you want to kind of what you want to set there. But the thing is that like in order to optimize the campaign, the CPC bid can be only 60 times lower than the daily target budget. So if you want to increase it, then you would have to increase the daily budget as well. So depending on what kind of client it is, what kind of industry it is, either is like I don't know, like big travel, which has like bigger competition, or like smaller, maybe like online shops. It really depends, but like I wouldn't go lower than 20-30 euros per day. So this is like approximate, like you can see like to get reasonable results, you should consider these kind of budgets.
Okay. So I see we have one more question. In AdWords statistics, oh sorry, let me get it there. So in AdWords, statistics such as age and gender are available only for about 5 to 10% of users. How is this number in GSP? So whether if I create a campaign for a specific gender, like what's the percentage of users I'm actually going to be able to reach with this?
It's a good question, but the thing is that not always, like for AdWords, you can target very precisely by age and gender, and especially in our markets, especially in Baltics, it might not work that well. So in Gmail, you're actually reaching users who are logged in. So if they have shown their information correctly in their Gmail accounts, right? So because you have to put your age and gender, so it should be like 100%. Because there's no other option. You can't check your Gmail rather than just by logging in. So by logging in, we get this information that actually, this old user is actually checking this email. So I hope this answers the question.
So I understand if user has registered for Gmail and has created the G+ profile, then the data should be pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there are also some age restrictions, but like in GSP targeting, we can start targeting users only from 18 plus. So that's another thing.
Okay. One question that I've been getting a lot as well is so as you have to create this special creative for GSPs that isn't being used for any other format. In your experience, how challenging is that, or how much time it takes?
To be honest, I haven't created one myself, so it's very hard to say. But to be honest, all the agencies I work with, the specifications are really like straightforward, and their web designers, like the people who are working with this, they get it pretty quickly. So you just have to make sure that you're following all the instructions there, and it shouldn't take too much of the time. Like as actually you were mentioning it before during the webinars, like once you get a grasp of it, like once you have done it once, like every next time it's easier and easier.
So no one has given up, right?
No, not really. They were really determined to actually try this out.
I would say that maybe a bit of a time frame there would be maybe 2 days, because as far as I've sent materials and I had responses, it's been literally like 1 to 2 days. So I wouldn't say it's more longer.
Yeah.
Plus, we're small but very technically advanced
and
country,
eager.
so yes, the eagerness is definitely a good point. Okay, and then maybe the last question from my side, unless we would get any more questions from the video there. So again, if you still have some, you can type it in there. Would be, well, thinking about Gmail sponsor promotions. What's kind of the one thing that makes you the most excited about it?
Me personally.
Yes. Based on your experience.
Actually, I'm just talking about myself personally. What I like is the really interesting formats that you can work with, because well, from the specifications you can have like a teaser, and then when you're opening up, and there is something that actually can surprise you. So like basically the format and the engagement, I would say, with that. Because you open it up, it's colorful. You can have links to your website. You can have forms. You have videos. So it really, this is the format that offers really engagement with the user. So that's actually what makes me excited as well, because it's colorful, it's interesting, and quite often I'm getting really interesting offers, because I do have the promotions tab in my Gmail inbox, and I'm usually very eager to check those out. So I would say the options that you can do with the creative, it's really it's something I think is the best.
So that means if you would like to target Laura, then GSPs work.
Yeah, that would work.
Okay. Do you maybe have any other questions or any last thoughts that you would like to say on this?
Maybe I would just want to repeat probably what you already guys said, that before going about the GSP campaign, just Just brainstorm, sit down and brainstorm how do you want to go about it. Just make sure you're following what the advertiser's target is. So either it's direct response, either it's branding, and then depending on that, like do the creatives. Never stop. Do the optimization. Consult us. We can always consult, like what are the best practices and and give you some optimization tips. Don't run like the same ads for a really long period. Just try to put yourself in the user's place. You probably get annoyed by the same ads all the time, so it's not going to be as effective. So maybe shorter time periods with a bigger boost, and the results going to be better. And yeah, just change according to seasonality and various offers. Make it interesting, not only for advertisers but also for yourself.
Okay, that's a good advice there. So, if we don't have any more questions there, I guess that pretty much sums this up. So what we really wanted to try here is that, considering that there has been interest by many of you, we really wanted to give just kind of very high-level overview of what GSP is actually about. So it's really, just showing what are the possibilities, what are the targeting methods, and so on. I guess the main message here is that if you find that this might be something interesting for any of your clients, you can reach to us, and then we can kind of talk more in detail about specific things that could be used, what could be the strategies, and how to actually go about this. So we're definitely more than happy to help you, to help your customers. I think this can be a great way to bring something new to them. So far, we have heard really positive responses, and hopefully that should help Estonians to grow their business, whether that would be targeting potential customers in country or abroad. So,
actually, I do have one last comment about this. Before going to the customer and already pitching it to them and saying, okay, this is what we're going to do for you, maybe reach out to us and make sure that this customer might comply with the Google and Gmail policies, because there are also Gmail block categories that are not allowed to advertise. So make sure these advertisers are in the category which are allowed actually to advertise before you're actually offering them something. So and it definitely has to be family safe. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, thanks for the tip there. Well, with that, thanks for tuning in. That was a pleasure having you there, and hope to hear from you soon. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.